I think I have this right. The most famous person in women's basketball is a man, right? It's Geno Auriemma, is it not, or is it one of the players?
I believe it's Geno. Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be if it'd be Sue Bird, if it'd be Cheryl Miller. I don't know who you guys would pick as the most famous person in women's college basketball.
Pat Summit.
It either be
Skylar Diggins.
I think Auriemma might win that. Regardless,
Rebecca Lobo's in that conversation.
This is what he has to say. The majority of coaches in America are afraid of their players. The NCAA, the athletic directors, and society has made them afraid of their players. Every article you read, this guy's a bully, this woman's a bully, this guy went over the line, this woman was inappropriate, yet the players get off scot-free and everything. They can do whatever they want. They don't like something you say to them, they transfer. Coaches, they have to coach with one hand behind their back. Why? Because some people have abused the role of a coach. People gave Tom Izzo a lot of grief for something he did on the sideline. His players love that. He doesn't have to care what you think of it. He just has to care what his players think of it. If his players all transferred, if his players all quit on him, then he went over the line. If his players play really hard for him, they keep winning, they love him, they keep coming back to the program, then that's passion. So Geno Auriemma, like a lot of coaches, like a lot of broadcasters who used to be coaches, is always protecting the freedom of the coaches over in his sport what I thought was the powerless. Right. But he's telling you, nope, they're not powerless anymore, and I don't like it. They can say things about the way we're behaving, and I don't like it. I like them powerless.
I want my power back.
Where's my power?
Yeah, I got no sympathy for coaches, not knowing how to navigate the current landscape. Just same as I got no sympathy for men in 2019 being like, I don't know how to act around women these days. I don't want to be Me Too. Just like, you know what, man? All sectors of society, rightfully so, are evolving in 2019. And look, I wasn't one of those people that had a problem with Tom Izzo because I'm a yeller. I was yelled at. Coaches will yell at you in that moment. I didn't think he went too far. But there are coaches who go too far. And that's not cool anymore. Just because it was the way it was always done doesn't mean we should continue doing it. The old way wasn't necessarily the right way back then. So miss me with the kids get away with everything nowadays. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're still the powerless in this situation.
We're going through their Twitter accounts from when they were even younger.
Right.
Like, kids don't get away with anything. If they're in the spotlight, they're not going to get away with anything either. I think it's a surprising thing for him to say, though, because when I think of somebody who has almost total immunity because of his greatness, I can't think of anyone who is less likely to be disrespected or criticized on this front as the guy who's been running women's college basketball for the last 15 years.
And nobody's I don't think anybody, most people, because there were just as many people defending Tom Izzo, if not more people defending Tom Izzo, for example, against the idea of, the PC culture or coaches having to, walk on eggshells with kids. There were just as many people defending, if not more, than they were criticizing.
I think those are the things, though, that we now gravitate toward in sports, where we can take sides in an argument culture.
But my point is, I don't think anybody's got an issue with hard coaching. By and large, I think we're still okay as a society with hard coaching. We're talking about the extremes, where there are full-on investigations into toxic, abusive environments, which are far too prevalent, and maybe we're okay back in the day, but just we've come to realize we're not okay then, and they certainly aren't okay now.
When Tom Izzo blows up like that in the moment, I don't believe that's coaching. I believe that's just a dude losing his temper. That's not what I think of when I think of the things that make Tom Izzo a Hall of Fame coach. It's not because they fear him. Mm-hmm. It's because they love him, they respect him. And I don't think that when you're demanding discipline of others that you need to have a fist balled up while you're reprimanding a player with rage face. That doesn't feel like coaching to me. So it just feels like a guy who's losing his temper.
So here's a mutually exclusive question. I guess what we're coming down to is, no, that's not coaching in its purest form. That doesn't make him a great coach. But is that inappropriate? And if the answer is no, then I think that's okay for a guy to lose it, because that's why his players are there to say, hey, enough, move on. We got this. You know what I mean? I agree with you that it wasn't necessary, but unnecessary doesn't necessarily make it inappropriate or cross the line.
Yeah, the line between unnecessary and inappropriate. I don't think it's ever a bad thing when the people in power have to wonder if they're erring on the side of abuse.
I think that's what we need to be right now.
Like, that's where we need to be. Sorry, Geno.
Oh, you guys glossed over a great debate, though. Greatest women's player of all time. I have been waiting 1,000 years for this conversation. Not many people know this about me, but I'm a huge women's basketball
Really?
fan.
You're a feminist?
It's my favorite sport. And a name that was not mentioned that probably should be, considering her contributions to the game, Muffet McGraw.
Oh,
Just chew on that for a little bit. Also, Don Staley, player and coach. That's next level. Galaxy brain type stuff. Tamika Catchings, Cynthia Cooper, Sue Bird, Ruth Riley, great analyst for the Miami Heat, and contributor on the Miami Soul. Bet you didn't know that.
I'm amazed that you know that, dirty demon of debate. What an amazing amount of women's basketball knowledge you have. I had no idea.
Did anybody mention Lisa Leslie? Did anybody?
No, nobody.
Should be one of the first names you mentioned. I mean, see yourself out of this. And Diana Taurasi. Has anyone heard of Diana Taurasi? The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. Also, they play basketball around the world. Okay? You don't just have to be an American women's player. It's so myopic. American.
I like how inclusive you are, dirty demon of debate.
Favorite thing to watch, foreign women's hoops.
who knew?
What a shocker.
Cha-ching! Time for some ads.
Right about Taurasi.
It didn't even feel like, though, that you were actually wanting to argue about anything. It just felt like
Give
you wanted
opinions,
to
yeah.
give your opinions and show us all how much you know about women's basketball.
Muffet McGraw has given way too much to this game. For you to have a conversation about the most influential figures in the game, and to not mention Muffet McGraw, like just in the first 5 seconds, is egregious, and it'll get you down next to me down here in our Bronx.
When you were
Reasonable and sensible demon.
when you were building out
Her name is Muffet McGraw.
what I was going to
That's
ask
like
you.
90 points out of 100 already, just
Listen to
name
me.
alone.
If you hadn't interrupted me, what you would have heard the question be is, did you devise an entire bit around simply the name Muffet McGraw? Did you just want to say Muffet McGraw because it's comedically perfect?
Guilty.